first and foremost, you've got to have a great product. And if you've got a great product, you can do a lot without very much else.
Welcome to Velocitize Talks. I'm Andy North, and today my guest is Dave Wiltshire, founder and CEO of Patchworks. Dave, thank you so much for being here.
No worries.
You have a long history in web design and e-commerce. You started Juno in 2006, named after a beach that your grandfather actually landed on D-Day. And you helped create the first cloud middleware for e-commerce globally in 2012. Tell us a little bit about Patchworks and how it stands apart in the marketplace.
Well, most importantly, we make life easy for merchants, software companies and agency partners. We've got an easy-to-use product and a very experienced technical consultancy team should you need to have more complex data flows mapped out. We deal with retailers, are approachable, friendly and fun, quite unlike some of our competitors who tend to be more from the shirt and tie fraternity.
E-commerce obviously was a growing industry within the overall retail industry, but it's fair to say it's blown up, grown even faster over the past year with the pandemic, with everyone ordering from home. What lessons have you learned over the last year and with regards to e-commerce, and what does the future hold for e-commerce in your opinion?
Well, firstly, we learned that we don't need an office anymore, or certainly an office in the same way. And we've learned that, I guess, that e-commerce is the backbone of the economy. I think if you could imagine what state the country would be in now had it not been for the digital economy, I think we'd be in a very different position right now with the pandemic. Indeed, a lot of our merchants like Huel and the mighty Lounge Underwear are up hundreds of %. So it's been really quite an interesting year in terms of seeing kind of which businesses are succeeding and which ones are struggling. So it's just been a very kind of tumultuous and interesting kind of period to live through, really. The future now is understanding data and business intelligence. So as the trading tools like the e-com platforms are becoming more established, and kind of the thin veneer of e-commerce is starting to harden, and so the kind of the personalization tools and the marketing tools and the tools to incentivize people to buy from your brands. The next real leap forward for merchants, right down to SME level, is to develop a much deeper understanding of data and kind of all of the motions and movements that are kind of going on throughout your business.
And how does Patchworks help enable that, help tie all in the moving parts that are around e-commerce so that it makes sense for your clients?
Patchworks kind of make life easy for our merchants. We have a suite of pre-built connectors that can get merchants most of the way with integration. Obviously, there's inevitably some customization and some personalization for most kind of projects that we work on. Obviously, we having been in this game for a decade, we can help in an advisory way. So we can help our merchants to find the right system. So understanding their long-term and short-term ambitions, whether that be local or global. We can help kind of signpost our merchants so that they make the right software decisions as they move forward. I mean, it's fair to say that historically we've always been the pipes, kind of transferring data and information from system to system, but more recently we've developed a kind of a business intelligence or advanced analytics layer that enables our merchants to see more about the whole of their business. So kind of giving that actionable insight that means that they can make real-time decisions based on what's happening in their business at any one time.
With that in mind, what would you say are the key ingredients to a complete digital presence?
First and foremost, you've got to have a great product. And if you've got a great product, you can do a lot without very much else. But obviously the other key ingredients are great people. First and foremost, I think if you've got a great team, a knowledgeable team and an able team that can think creatively, then it makes life a lot easier. You need great e-com technology and systems, so the systems to support the team, to make their life easier and to save them from wasting time, and so they can be more productive. You need great communication, marketing and personalization. I think now with the intelligence that you get in a lot of systems, the ability to really personalize your message for your merchant, as for your customer, is really important. And I think that separates the kind of the newer, more contemporary thinking softwares from the older world. And, you see a lot of the older, larger retailers struggling a little bit now. I think it's because they're baked into systems that can't offer that level of personalization and flexibility. Obviously, you need a great integration platform as a service and data visibility, so the ability to transfer information, but also to attain actionable insights. And if you're in e-commerce, you'll need a great warehouse solution, WMS, a great logistics partner, or an effective distribution network, whether that be kind of through the standard channels, or whether that be next day, next hour, is now becoming more prevalent as time goes by.
Have you seen more smaller merchants? Obviously, the Amazons and so forth of the world tend to dominate e-commerce, but are you seeing smaller merchants really diving in now as a result of the pandemic and the growth of e-commerce?
I mean, this has got to be the era of the entrepreneur. I mean, everyone now seems to be launching a business as the larger retailers start to break up into smaller chunks. Obviously, I mean, a lot of the best case studies that we have are kind of businesses where they've been in the game for 2 or 5 years. Obviously, somewhat heartbreaking when you've been chugging away for 15 years to see these youngsters coming in and making absolutely gazillions of pounds. But I think the pandemic has really kind of reset the clock, and it means that with the right technology and the right product and the right plan, running a business is fair game for anybody.
Are there any examples or case studies of clients that have successfully gone online or amplified their presence online that you can share with us?
The biggest ones that we've got on the books at the moment are brands like Lounge Underwear, who are just going absolutely through the roof. You'll see they've got an amazing new office opening up, and their tech is changing and evolving, as is their product. They're truly catching the wind. We work with amazing brands like Huel as well, who are seeing significant growth and internationalizing across borders. We've got a number of customers in Australia that are really taking off. So there's a really nice community-driven athleisure brand called Muscle Nation that are really kind of, again, catching the wind. And it goes without saying, brands like Gymshark that we've worked with for a long time are, again, just growing by hundreds of % year on year. So, yeah, I mean, the whole e-commerce space, particularly direct to consumer, is growing astronomically.
Is there any advice that you would offer a new merchant wanting to go online or wanting to build their presence online? How to start up, how to sort of ramp that business?
I would always advise, if you're entering into an unknown area, I would always advise seeking out a subject matter expert or someone that's done it before that can kind of advise you on the right platforms, systems, and softwares. I mean, if you're launching a business, you've got a product, right? So you kind of know what you're going to be selling, and one of the key things is actually then deciding the right infrastructure, the right platforms, and the right, that fit the right brand, that are affordable, that will get you from A to B, that will take you on that whole journey from 0 to 60. I think find someone that has been there before, or who has been in the game, or someone that that you trust, that can listen to your kind of your plans and say, okay, well, short and long term, this is what you need to consider. Short and long term, these are the best softwares for you, and then to make sure that your products and your message are supported with the appropriate systems and softwares as you go. Because whilst some systems will enable you, some will also hold you back, and it can be really painful.
As far as professional advice, what's the best professional advice you've ever heard or been given?
And I think in business, it's very easy to be affected by the pressures that come as a business owner, from all around you, to the extent that you can end up looking like one of those wounded pigeons in the town square. You kind of start to, and then you become unattractive, and other business owners can sense it, so they don't buy from you and all of that kind of stuff. So the most important thing I think that I would say to a business owner is that it's really important that whatever happens, that you keep your shape and you continue to believe, and that you ultimately you believe in yourself throughout the whole process.
Is there a book, a blog, or a podcast that you'd like to recommend to our viewers?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually revisiting a book called Traction that was written by someone called Gino Wickman. I read it a long time ago, and I found that it changed my view on how I operate, and also as a visionary business owner, it kind of gave me an understanding of my position in the company. So if you're a creative or you're an innovator, sometimes when you're surrounded by what's called integrators or technical people that kind of actually do the practical implementation of the work, sometimes you can forget your kind of worth in the company. And I think that book really helped me, but it also outlines a nice framework for kind of running a business, which is called EOS, or the Entrepreneur's Operating System. And we're revisiting that at the moment and looking at implementing it across our company.
My guest today has been Dave Wiltshire, founder and CEO of Patchworks. Dave, thank you so much for joining us.
No, it's been a real pleasure. Thanks to you guys.